All right. Well, welcome. Hopefully, we are live on all the places, but I'm going to check right now. Well, welcome to my stream. Today, we are going to check out the opening statements. We're going to collect some videos for our next video that I can put together sometime this week in my off time. I got a lot of that, but yeah. Oh, just check and make sure we're up and running. Of course, yep, that's me on my iPhone. Put that into my headphones. Make sure the mic sounds good. Of course, my name's not Michael. 50% Centurion. Let's get that fixed. All right. So, what we're going to do, get out of here. That off because I don't want to hear myself in my ear. On a delay is we're going to go through the opening statements of this trial, which started 700 and some weeks ago. And we're going to find us some clips. And we're going to clip those things out. And then later on this week, I'm going to get into Adobe Premiere. And I'm going to cut up these clips. And I'm going to make a video about 4 minutes long of trying to kind of compare and contrast the share the screens. Very excuse me for a moment. There we go. All right, we are sharing that screen, and then we'll kind of show you how the process goes. Okay, so let's pull up Emily first. I kind of use Emily as the base one because she does the most commentary during the thing. I know Melanie does. Melanie does a little bit of commentary during the trial too. She'll stop and comment on things. So the two of them really do a good job. So what I want to do is kind of get the essence of the opening statements from both Lally, as Emily says, Lally. But I want to get the essence of the opening statements. What the lawyers said at the very beginning of the trial that their evidence was going to show. And I know we haven't gotten to the defense yet, right? That's still to come. But we've seen a lot of defense through the cross examination. So because we've seen a lot of the defense through the cross examination, we have a good feeling for what the defense is and where they're going. And we know from their witness list that it's going to be interesting. Now, we did hear, and let me move this around. that Mr. Jackson came out and said that the defense is going to take 4 days. So I said we're halfway through this trial, we might be more than halfway through this trial. If it's only going to take 4 days for the defense to do their thing, then we're going to see. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's click on the opening statements here. Let's get this up and running. As you can see on my screen there, I have got, does it show it? No, it doesn't show it. I have got the game bar, the Windows thing. And so the Windows game bar lets you record what's on your screen. And so then when we go full screen, I can click the record button and I can record little clips. And then I just take all those clips and I store them away. And then I cut those up into the little bits in the video you've seen. Oh, first one took a while. I'm not gonna lie. These do take a while. They take multiple hours of, first you got to go through. I got my notes from page today. Oh, there we go. Okay. I went through last night. There's timestamps on Runkle's especially, and then Emily's, and a few others that I want to grab. But yeah, what I think I'm going to do with this video is get the essence of the two lawyers during the opening statements, and then kind of bounce back and forth. I guess my plan is to kind of bounce back and forth between Lally and Yannetti, and kind of contrast what the thing. So let's go ahead and jump to the beginning of the statements, because I definitely want to have the opening statements of their opening statements, if that makes sense. So let's see what we got here.
Is there not a microphone? I like the tie.
To address the first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you heard over the course of the impoundment process a number of different witnesses that were listed out.
So, yeah, is that really his opening?
Is there not a...
All right, let's go over to Brandy's. She has opening good sound. So let's go to Brandy's
Got to
first
spend
here.
some time with my friends.
And let's get to, I think this was pre-trial. Okay, day one. There we go.
But it is not.
Okay, because she does not interject a bunch at first. So let's go ahead and capture Mr.
Fellow jurors, nor should you allow anyone to...
Okay, so that's still the judge, and here's Mr. Lally.
You were instructed that you must not, in account of any act critical, that you please continue that you have taken as juror. The issues between them, if you follow that fairly and will with that, and I ask only that you keep your voice up, please.
Do my best. Good morning. So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two opportunities that
Such a strong opening, I tell you what. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to click this little button. I'm going to click the record button. I'm going to go full screen. And then we're going to play it. And I'm going to move my thing out of the way here.
Good morning. So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two...
You mean recording's not working?
opportunities that I will get to address.
Yes. All right, cool.
The first of which right now,
right.
essentially,
Partner's
what
leaving.
I'm going to attempt to do.
Bye.
And I know you heard
See
over
you
the course
later.
of the impoundment process a number of different witnesses that were listed out as far as potential witnesses in this case.
Let's get like the
So
first
what my
25 seconds.
intent here is to provide as much of a roadmap as I can through those waters and help you to navigate sort of who these people are and what relation they have to this
That's the
case.
first 25 seconds of Lally's opening statement. Oh my good grief. Okay, so let's see what happens with Mr. Yannetti's first 25 seconds. So we're gonna get straight first 25 seconds of both of them.
Lally,
Okay.
Mr. Yannetti?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court.
All right, let's get him up at the. Get him up there. Let's stick with
We'll talk about
Brandon
this when
now.
they're done. I made a couple notes.
Okay, here we go. So let's go back 5 seconds. Hit record. And go.
Karen Reed was framed. Her car never struck John O'Keefe. She did not cause his death. And that means that somebody else did. You will learn that it was no accident that John O'Keefe was found dead on the front lawn of
Here's
34
30 seconds.
Fairview Road in Kent on January 29th of 2022.
All right.
You will
Now
learn
we've got the
that
first
at that address lived a well-known.
We got Eddie's first 25, 30 seconds. We got Lally's first 25, 30 seconds. So those are good clips there. Now I'm going to just real quickly kind of organize these things. Pardon me while I just do some stuff here. But I mean, it's, I mean, what we've seen on this trial so far is a complete opposite approach. And we see it from the very beginning of opening statements. The two of them are just, lawyers for Karen Reed, and Lally's just all over the place. Not much you can really say. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a couple folders. And so I guess Nettie instead of. All right. So we got one from Mr. Lally and we got one from. Let's go ahead. Sorry. Really see what I'm doing, but I promise you it's boring as. All right. So Lally in there. Nettie in there. Now let's kind of go. I want to see what Emily says first off. So what's her very first comment? So as he gets started.
Microphone.
First comment
I like
is
the tie.
there's no microphone. Okay. I like the tie.
The first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you heard.
Oh, another good thing. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is a very cool feature. If you go onto YouTube and you click on more, right? So you got the introduction. There is a transcript. So it's not always the most accurate, but you can show the transcript. And the other cool thing about this is you can search it. Hi, I'm just catching up to chat. Sorry. Welcome ABC's Docket and Abby. Thank you. Yeah, no, I love I do. I too. I love Emily and Randy and there's just so many good creators, and so um and none of them have disappointed me yet, so that's good. That's another story, but for another time. But yeah, okay. Quality's good. So yeah, so you've got the transcript, so you can see what's happening. So we go down, we're at 38. Oh, and it will follow along. You can see that there's a bar right there. Where is it? Right there. So it'll follow along too.
Over the course of the impoundment
Bar will
process,
follow
a number
along.
of different witnesses that were listed out as far as potential witnesses in this.
This is the prosecution
Intent here is
opening.
to provide as much of a roadmap as I can through those waters and help you to navigate sort of.
Well, let's go. So we can kind of use this.
Within months of that,
Boxed in, it looks very much more like truly a British.
I really want to get to her first comments about the
Sitting back here with a
kind of doing the layout.
neighborhood of the parents with and assuming this sort of role. Boston Police Department helped him greatly as far as positioning him to more of a desk role, working in the
Somebody breathing into the mic there. I think that was
with
Judge
more regular
Bev.
hours to sort of assimilate himself to this new life and this new role that he assumes with his children.
break my heart.
It was a relatively typical day. It was a Friday going into a Saturday of January 29th.
Fridays do that.
Sort of typical in the sense of most.
The other cool thing about the
this case
transcript
that
is you could
was
you
so
could skip
shocking
to
to
it.
me when I started looking at this case. The niece is in 8th grade. She has lost her mother, her father, her eyes down, and 12,
But she's
11,
still not
12,
getting
12,
into
13.
a little bit here. She starts getting into the what are you doing?
Oh, sir, I should have kept going. I should have just.
Wife, Catherine
Emily, just
Camerano,
shut up and let it go.
With John O'Keefe, they had children around the same ages as both John's niece. They then go to
Ed.
McCarthy is arriving there sometime between 7 text messages between Mr.
This is their
to things they observed with identified as John O'Keefe, found in the snow outside the residence at 34 Fairview Road. At the time,
I want to go back. I'm probably going to go back and get some of this. I'm going to go back and record some of this.
Anticipates a cruiser camera video from his cruiser detailing, memorializing sort of his response in the darkness, in the blue, through photographic evidence and other means, of course. You'll hear the testimony from these firefighters. Not all the snow approximately that was on top of Mr. O'Keefe's body, and the snow throughout the roadway, front yard, by Ms. Roberts, who is now going to go pick up Mr. and Mrs. O'Keefe, John O'Keefe's parents, in Braintree, around the area where Mr. O'Keefe in the morning.
So far, she's just letting him roll.
The camera video attached to their cruiser, and you'll see that video of herself and Mrs. McCabe at the waterfall.
So now we've jumped back in time.
The same time as they did.
We've jumped back in time to what happened before.
Same area as Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. Reed did, specifically in
The victim died.
She observed Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant walking toward the defendant's vehicle.
This was after they were at the bar.
Walking towards
All right, here we go. Coming on one.
Why he's hard to follow. He knows this case so well that he is. Sir.
Now, you'll hear testimony from a Christopher and Julie Albert.
You're not
This
easy
is
to
going to be
follow.
a good point right here. We're going to capture some of this here.
What happened
Same
before.
area as Mr. O'Keefe.
Got 55.
Mrs. Kolakaitis had some conversation.
Okay, so I think I'm going to start right there. Start recording right there. Let's go ahead and bring up bar. Okay, so we'll hit record. Full screen, and that stops the recording. So I'm going to hit recording again. Okay, hit record. Right, and hit record again. My goodness. Get rid of that one. Oh, not play. Okay, there we go. Now hit record.
This is Kolakota.
Done this once or twice, maybe. All right, record. Doesn't always work great. Okay, so we're recording. We're gonna go. And I just want to capture all this, and then in my editing process, I'm going to cut this way down.
So now we've jumped back in time.
As they did.
We've jumped back in time to what happened before
area as Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. Reed did, specifically in Ms. Reed's car.
the victim died.
She observed Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant walking toward the defendant's vehicle. And
this was after they were at the bar.
Walking towards the driver's side of the vehicle.
Sir.
Now, you'll hear testimony from a Christopher and Julie Albert.
You're not easy to follow.
Who were at one point neighbors of Mr. O'Keefe.
Okay.
Him, well from being...
My opinion on why he's hard to follow, he knows this case so well that he is talking about it not in order, and he's not telling you the story of it. It makes it hard to follow.
Neighbors
this is
of him.
A very common opening.
A pizza shop also located with...
We got that. Now let's kind of go back and look. I want to get some of his just... Actually, let's look at this one. Go ahead and see how he begins. Mr. Tragos. The lawyer, you know. Okay, day 3, opening statements.
With a dead body on the front lawn, the homeowner.
He does this at 1 1/4 speed or 1.5 speed, so fine. Okay. Recorded. These away as I do them. Okay. All right. Now we've got, let's find beginning here of Lally's test opening statement. Okay.
The evidence will show. You can only mention at trial through opening arguments. You can't argue. You can only talk about what you think the evidence will show. You can only mention stuff you have a good faith basis or good reason to believe will come out at trial through testimony, meaning evidence taking this witnesses. It's a little bit boring, didn't need it, but we jump right into their story, the story they're going to tell. Opening statements are...
Reed joins them at this establishment at apartments, sometime just before 9 p.m.
Where does he actually start
now,
at?
Karen Reed had
comments about this opening statement, about both sides' opening statement on Twitter. Some I agreed with, some I didn't agree with. We are only listening to the state on 1.25 speed because he talks very quickly. And the audio is bad in the beginning. It gets a little bit better. And then the defense we can listen to on 1.5 speed. He speaks a little bit slower, but it gives us the layout. And opening statements are, you can only talk about what the jury has to know what the evidence is going to show. And maybe they're kind of like a story. Really good story that I think the jury's going to be able to follow and buy as to we see the same here. Let's take a listen.
Eventually, the defendant, Karen Reed, joins them at this establishment at apartments, sometime just
I think
before
he
9 p.m.
started a little later on.
John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had met sometime in 2004. They had dated briefly during that time and reconnected sometime around March of 2020, around the time of COVID.
Okay, so let's get that one. That kind of helps. Let's get that one. Go full screen. I know this is kind of a boring thing, but this is the process. Okay, so we're recording, I believe.
Reed joins them at this establishment at apartments, sometime just before 9 p.m. Now, John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had met sometime in 2004. They had dated briefly during that time and reconnected sometime around March of 2020, around the time of COVID.
Probably get another 20 seconds or so.
They had started dating around that time period, or reconnected during that time period. And the defendant had stayed at the house in Canton several nights a week. She had helped out.
Hop over to the defendant there, Ms. Reed.
Mr. O'Keefe's death.
All right, that's 30 seconds.
The relationship's
Good clip. Okay.
You will see text messages between Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. Reed to that effect. 911.
So he talks about and I'll mix in some of the testimony we heard from the first couple witnesses, which was John O'Keefe's brother and sister-in-law, and then a law enforcement officer. They're fighting.
Blizzards that have been predicted was occurring. Heavy snow, temperatures in the teens, wind bustling around.
And
prosecutors are going to try to prove that the reason people didn't see John O'Keefe's body is because the snow covered it. He was there at, X time to prove that. Watched the testimony on day one, I started to go back in my head to this opening statement and thinking, okay, so those are some of the facts that were left out. That's not great usually when you're the prosecutor and something.
Okay.
But the snow was so heavy and it was so hard and they were shoveling.
Okay, so
prosecutors are going to try to started coming down. And I think his name was, we
have as an exhibit anticipates a cruiser camera video from his cruiser detailing or memorializing sort of his response in the darkness. Male party subsequently identified as John O'Keefe, found in the snow outside a residence at the 34 Fairview Road. At the time, as I mentioned, blizzards that had been predicted was occurring. Heavy snow, temperature.
okay, so okay, we're gonna capture this, and I'm just gonna go until he talks about it, because this is more good stuff on.
It was kind of normal fights. We haven't gotten to the fight that night.
Watch this for
necessarily,
a moment.
Normal fights, nothing ever physical, no domestic violence.
Call from a woman reporting a male party subsequently identified as John O'Keefe, found in the snow outside a residence at the 34 Fairview Road. At the time, as I mentioned, blizzards that had been predicted was occurring. Heavy snow, temperatures in the teens. Wind
Talking about the weather here.
around. Officer Stephen Saraf and Officer Stephen Delaney, the Canton Police, were dispatched along with Canton Fire and EMS, and we'll hear from them in regard to their response to what they observed on scene. In particular, with Officer Saraf, who have as an exhibit anticipates a cruiser camera video from his cruiser detailing or memorializing sort of his response in the darkness, in the blizzard type conditions as he's.
And we saw some of that today during direct examination of Officer Saraf, I think his name was. We did see the conditions, and that's a big part of this. The blizzard, when the snow started sticking to the ground, when the snow started coming down. And we'll start connecting those dots as we hear the evidence. I assume, and again, I don't know a lot about this case, but I assume that the prosecutors are going to try to prove that the reason people didn't see John O'Keefe's body is because the snow covered it. He was there at, X time to prove that Karen Reed did it. But the snow was so heavy and it was so hard and they were shoveling and blowing. And we saw some of that already on the Ring doorbell camera. But he didn't add those details in. And after I watched the testimony on day one, I started to go back in my head to this opening statement and thinking, okay, so those are some of the facts that were left out. That's not great usually when you're the prosecutor. And something I also noticed as we're listening to this, he says a lot of names. And I don't think he gives enough background or connecting the dots. And that's also why I am, for one, happy. I know a lot of you guys aren't because you had questions beforehand and wanted me to listen to all the hearings and read all the documents. I wasn't able to in this case because there was so much going on. But I'm sitting here like a jury. Like, I don't know who some of these people are. Obviously, if they have the last name O'Keefe, I can put that together, right? But there are so many other people that were mentioned that I'm still trying to see how all of these people fit together.
Okay, that's
and
enough.
welcome to all the new members.
2 minutes.
Thanks
I got 2
tonight.
minutes of that
We're
just
gonna
now. I'm going to cut that down to probably
Rebecca, thanks for gifting
like
20 memberships.
20,
awesome.
25 seconds. I'm going to take 25 seconds out of everything that I just clipped there. Put that into it. So, all right, let's go over to Melanie and see what she does for the first little bit. She doesn't really start commenting until later on. It's not until later on in.
Now, so
Where John moved into.
Again, pull up the transcript. It always helps. The transcript is searchable too, which is really cool. I'll show you here in a second. So, like, you can search for words. So if we search the word snow, we see snow is used 89 times in the first bit here. Obviously. Shut that off. When I did my butt dial video, you have no idea how many times I searched the word butt. I was constantly searching the word butt. All these different videos, I was searching the word butt. It was funny.
As the judge, my responsibility issues. Notes also can help you to remember specific. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Lally.
Thank you.
Here we go. Lally up at
And I
bat.
ask only that you keep your voice up, please.
Do my best. Good morning. So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two.
You can't even tell me. You can't even tell me there's no microphone at that podium. You can't even tell me that.
All right, I want to clip that. All right, so we go full screen. Hit the record button. Wait till it pops up.
Good morning. So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two.
You can't even tell me. You can't even tell me there's no microphone at that podium. You can't even tell me that. You're going to have to turn up your volume unless they correct this, because I have no way of doing that on my end, but that's wild.
All right. So I am just quick, make sure. Very good recording. So let's over here. That's not good. All of these like this might be in trouble.
We haven't gone to the fight that night necessarily, but normal fights, nothing ever physical, no domestic violence.
All right. I wanted to do the recording on a different computer than the one that I was streaming on, because I was worried that was too much, because my streaming computer is not a powerful computer. It is very much just a very basic computer. So I was worried might be overtaxing. So let me see. Moment. Yeah. Too convoluted. Darn it. I was worried about that. All right, let's see. Okay. I usually do these at home on my streaming or my editing computer, which is a much more powerful computer. So okay, well, we're gonna try something else. See if we can do this. Of course, I got to go back and re-record everything that I just did.
Robbie joined.
Right. Hey, look, it's me. Yay. Okay. And we're going to do this. YouTube. Go to Emily. Technical difficulties. He's gotta just. All right, let's duplicate these. Changes. Go back to here because now you're seeing the thing. Sharing in there. Hi. Hello, it's me again. Okay. And here. Input source. Input source. There we go. That one. Okay. Come to me. There we are. Okay. Wait, why is it? Oh, plugged. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Well, many folks here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That. All right, try that. Why I try to make myself comfortable. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now move this over here. Question is if I'm going to be able to hear it, but we'll figure that out. Okay. Now, when you're trying to use two mouse, that's. Now I'm going to share. There. Okay. Hey, look. All right. I got it. Maybe. Am I hearing this? The other thing that was weird is listening to myself at the same time. That off. If that does it. Nope. Why? Oh. Kind of delay too, so it's weird. Muted the mic. No, make no sense. Mm-hmm. All right, whatever. If we can make this work, I'll just do it.
And around the area where Mr. O'Keefe's body was found. You'll also hear from. All
right. Are you going to talk about what that evidence is, or no?
With at this point in time, the Canton Police were unaware.
Okay. All right. This is not working. I don't know why I can hear myself again. Oh, because I. hear me. No. Muted. Try that. Nope, that didn't do it. Oh, wait. Oh, weird. Oh, now I can do it in an echo. Got all the echoes. That. Do it? No. That. About that. That. That do it? Oh my goodness, that did it. Hey. Got rid of myself. Okay, now let's go here. Video though.
That the nephew was over at a sleepover.
Of course not.
They weren't aware that Mr. Camarano had come over.
Oh, they went to go do a
and picked up the niece and bringing her back to his house. She was left unattended when the defendant
whatever.
go looking for Mr. O'Keefe. So unaware of that, they go do a well-being check at approximately 8:22 in the morning. And they also have cruiser camera video. You'll see that.
My regular work, we got our
pull into the driveway.
we had a machine stolen. So today we got that machine back. It's very cool. Now I'm very happy with that. So we got that back. Very happy. It was a side by side. We lost our side by side. Delete this. Turn myself off somehow. Maybe that. Don't want to hear myself in the new thing. Okay. There we go.
8:22 in the morning. They pull in direct.
Ooh, that might do it. I think I did it. All right.
Behind where
I can still hear it. Okay, cool. Yay. All right. So yeah, at my regular work, we had a side by side taken, and by some unscrupulous people that steal things like that. So we put it out on Facebook and said, "Hey, can you go find this?" And voila, some people went and found it, believe it or not. Amazingly. Okay. Let's try this again. Dang it. Should have checked those videos earlier before I recorded like 3 of them. So we're going to have to try it again. Okay. Now I'm back to 2 keyboards, 2 mice, trying to do this whole thing.
With Mr. O'Keefe's body.
And I just shut it off. I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, I hit the button again. All right. Apple G, and then pin that to the page. Okay. Now let's go back to the very beginning. I'm going to be here forever. All right. Randy Churchwell. There. Lives. And her opening statement. There we go.
And well connected.
Okay. And then go to YouTube. There. And I know this is very exciting stuff. This is the process. This is how we get to my free 4-minute videos so far. I really appreciate all of the love on those. been very exciting to finally break out after a year or so of doing whatever we can. Okay, lawyer, you know. Let's see, let's go. Check it out. Where are we at right now? Go to the studio, show you kind of the behind the scenes of YouTube studio. 248 subscribers. Thank you. We're almost halfway to 250. The part 3 video got 878. The part 2 video, that was the one that just went crazy with 13,644 views. That is amazing. 529 watch hours. I mean, it just blew up. We were just so excited about that. So really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get Melanie back up here. All right. Yes, Melanie. And we'll do her live. Thank you. All right, and we got opening statements. Okay. All right, so now let's go back to here. Okay, let's get full screen. Hit record. Hit start. Okay.
Is there not a microphone? I like the tie.
To address the first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you've heard over the course of the impairment process a number of different witnesses that were listed out as far as potential witnesses in this.
This is the prosecution
Intent here is
opening.
to provide as much of a roadmap as
Okay, I like
through those waters.
All right, I'm going to. I think we did Brandy's the first video I recorded. She doesn't interrupt. So there we go. There's Brandy.
Good morning, Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, there's Lally. Again, now we're using a different computer. Show the transcript. All right, and let's go full screen and record and play.
If you follow that oath, approach this
Dang
case
it.
with an
Not far enough along. Yeah, here he's coming to the stand. All right. Let's see my captures. Open file location. Continue. Want to delete that one. Here. Okay. Record. Okay, record and go.
Good morning.
All right.
So as Your Honor was telling you, this is one of the two opportunities that I will get to address you. The first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you heard over the course of the impairment process a number of different witnesses that were listed out as far as potential witnesses in this case. So what my intent here is to provide as much of a roadmap as I can through those waters and help you to navigate sort of who these people are.
Okay, we're going to stop
And what
there.
relation they have to this case. We start with John O'Keefe.
Make sure what we got was okay. Okay, record and go. All right.
So as
And
Your
of
Honor was
course,
telling
it's
you,
recording me.
this is one of the two
All right.
opportunities that I will get to address you. The first of which right now, essentially what I'm going to attempt to do, and I know you heard over the course of the impairment process a number of different witnesses that were listed out as far as potential witnesses in this case. So what my intent here is to provide as much of a roadmap as I can through those waters and help me to navigate sort of who these people are.
Okay, we're gonna- All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to stream from home to do this because I just cannot get good recordings here, it seems. So, oh well, it was worth a shot. And now I'm much farther behind than I need to be. But hey, it was a good attempt. And I guess I will make another attempt at home. I'm going to stop sharing. Dang it. Well, I was hoping that would work, but we just couldn't get a very good way to do it. So, going to have to switch gears. So, I am going to head home and stay up late and record some other things on my computer at home. So, thanks for tuning in to the portion that we got done here, which was pretty much nothing, but hey, we had 52 minutes to hang out. So, all right. Thank you. We'll see you on Friday. All right. Good night.